Hello everyone and welcome back. In this module, we'll be learning about brushes, some advanced level stuff using brushes. Okay, and at the end of the module, we'll create a very cool design, a very cool project, and we're going to also have an assignment which I will require you to do. Okay, so in order to start, we're going to start with a preset here. We just choose this common preset here, and now in order to use brushes, we have to select the brush tool. Now this is the brush tool, okay, the paint brush tool, and I'm very sure you're familiar with the paint brush tool. In order to use the paint brush tool, you have to do is select the paint brush tool and draw what you would like to draw. Just draw freely on your artboard, okay. Now when you double click on the paintbrush tool, we have the paint brush tool options. Now we have here which says fidelity. This controls the level of smoothing Adobe Illustrator will do to your drawing. Okay, so if we have it at 0, for example, or at very accurate, it means it's going to be very accurate to what you draw. Okay, it's going to be very accurate to what you draw. Very accurate, no smoothing to make it look beautiful. Okay, but if we now boost up the fidelity and okay, we then see that we are now having Adobe Illustrator help us edit the smoothness of our drawing, of our brush, to make sure we achieve something really cool. Okay, so that's one thing you have to know. I like keeping it at smooth. Okay, everything comes out better with smooth. Now we have other options here, which for example, this one says keep selected and edit selected path. So what this does is it enables us to continue editing our selected path or our drawing. Okay, so when we draw a line like this, we have the drawing we just did selected. So if we just uncheck it, for example, and we draw, we'll see that it's not selected. Okay, it's not selected, and that's how it is. And because of that, we won't be able to continue editing it. So in order to have this option check, we need to have this option also check. And this slider here will make Adobe Illustrator continue editing the parts based on a distance. Okay, a distance of 20 pixels. In this case, it can be lower. So the lower the distance, the easier it will be for Adobe Illustrator to continue editing. Okay, so that's just for you to know. And so that's it for the brush options. And now when you have your brush tool selected, we have here which is the brush panel. Okay, so we're just going to bring it to this point. Okay, we're just going to dog it out. So this is the brush panel, and in this panel we can see more about our brush, our selected brush. We can see other brush types which we can select. We can actually create new brushes using this panel. We can edit our existing brushes using this panel. We can access brush libraries using this panel. Okay, and we can save brushes that we've created using this panel. So this panel is very important. So when we select the brush here and you draw, we see that we now have the brush applied. Okay, so this is more of a stitch kind of brush. Okay, and even if we used, let's say, a pen tool and just drew a path like this and come here and select the brush, we then see that it's then applied to our path. Okay, it's applied to our path like this. Okay, yeah, so let's see, we have this brush selected, or let's say this brush preset selected. We have this. We can now double click this and go to options. Okay, so we can see the type of brush, and this is calligraphic brush, and these are the options for the brush. We can have an angle, we can have a roundness, okay, we can have a size, and so on and so forth. So let's assume we just do this and apply to the current to the current line, we can see that the effects have now been applied. So if we are going to be using this guy now, we can now see that it gives more like a calligraphic pen. Okay, just delete everything, and I want us to take a look at the types of brush and how to create a brush in Adobe Illustrator. Now I'm just going to come here and select my ellipse tool and draw out an ellipse like this, and give it a fill color. Okay, yeah, so this is our ellipse, and what I want to do is I want to show you the types of brushes and also create a new brush from this ellipse. Now I just need to select my brush or my ellipse and drag it to the brush panel and release it. Now you can see that we now have this menu pop up, and we can now see the types of brushes. We have calligraphic brush, we have scatter brush, we have art brush, we have pattern brush. Okay, so these are the types of brushes. Okay, we also have Bristol brush, and we are going to look at them in the course of this video. Okay, let's say we want to create an art brush. We will then see options here where we can choose the width. Okay, so the width can either be fixed or can be based on a pressure, that when you're using a pressure pen, okay, a drawing tab. So this will come handy. And we have other ones here. We have the rotation, so the width will be based on rotation. We cannot leave it at fixed. We have brush scale options. We have scale proportionately, scale to fit stroke length, and scale between guides. Okay, and you can just come and check these options and see what they do. Now these are the directions. Okay, this is the default one, and when you click OK, we now see that you have a brush here. So let me just try. It's going to be weird. Right, so this is the type of brush we've created here. Okay, so there are many other types of brushes. I'm going to delete this like this, and also delete this guy. Now in the next video, we're going to be learning about how to create the different types of brushes. Okay, I call them custom brushes. So yeah, that's what we're going to learn in the next video. So we are not going to look a lot into creating these brushes. I just wanted to show you the types of brushes. That's why I tried creating one of them here. So I just want you to get familiar with the brushes panel here. And okay, let's select this brush now that we just created. We can now delete it using this button here. We can click here to create a new brush. Okay, then we can now click here to kind of save brushes and access other library of brushes. Now we have different libraries of brushes. We have, for example, the artistic brushes. We have the calligraphic artistic brushes. Now these are similar to this one we have here, and this will help us create calligraphy. Okay, so let's just select this guy here and write something. Let's see. Good. You know what? I'm going to increase the size of my artboard so as to have enough room to write what I want to write. Right? So let me delete them first, and let me choose a more dramatic one. Let me choose this guy and see what we get. So go to your brush tool and good. Not bad. Good vibes. Actually big. Let me just reduce the size like this. Okay, and then maybe let's try other calligraphic brushes. Okay, so let's give it this one. Let's try this one and just increase the stroke size. Let's try this other guy. This one will give us just the normal thing we are used to. Okay. I'll just go with the 30 and maybe use the stroke size to 1. Good vibes. Not too perfect, but you get the point. So these are some of the things we can do with artistic brushes, okay, or calligraphic brushes. You can write, and yeah, there are even more categories of brushes. We have under artistic other ones like artistic ink, artistic paintbrush, the stroke pen brush, we have the watercolor brush, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's just keep adding them to what we have on ground to see what changes we get. Okay, so you see this is how this one works. Let me try doing it here. Okay, so we have other brushes. We actually have a lot of them. We have vector packs, grunges. So I really like these ones also. You can use them to draw stuff out. Okay, so maybe select the guy and give it a grunge brush, or maybe let's just use this one. Maybe we just use this one. Increase the stroke size. Okay, in our beginner course we actually used these brushes to create some really cool artwork. Okay, let's just keep looking at some other ones. Let's look at these ones, and we can actually drag them out. Okay, we can actually drag them out like this, and they act like standalone objects. Sorry, actually drag them out like this, and maybe increase their size like this, and then go to object, expand, and then maybe ungroup, and yeah, okay, they are actually just one group, one object. Yeah, so as you can see, we can now use them as standalone shapes, with not necessarily as brushes. So we have these other ones. They are called the hand brush, or rather the hand drawn brushes. Okay, and we have decorative banners. Okay, so these ones just work like this. They're actually banners. We increase the size. Okay, and yeah, this is what we get. Yeah, as you can see, I just dragged it out, so it's also possible to drag them out to have them as standalone objects. Yep. Come here. Let's take a look at some other ones. Let's look at image brushes. So these are image brushes. They are made from images. Okay, so it's from them we got this our stitch brush, which we used when starting the video, right? That's this guy. This is our stitch brush. Now let me just see how some of these image brushes work. Okay, so you can see how this guy works. It's also similar to stitch. Yeah, it's more of a stitch, a wool stitch. And we have this other guy, which looks like a flower, right? Yeah, so when we come to look at how to create custom brushes, you're also going to learn how to create brushes like this, that's using custom images. Okay, you can actually navigate from category to category, or from library to library, with this objects here, or with these buttons here. Just increase the chair. Yeah, this looks good. So delete. And this was a basic roundup, or I'll call it a refresh, of the brush tool and how to use the brush libraries. Okay, so in the next lecture, we're going to be looking at even more advanced stuff. See you there.